Hello my dear friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Learning and Programming with Chetan. Friends, in this particular video, we will going to discuss about some of the very important concepts related to Spring Framework. Okay, so we will try to understand that what is auto wiring. Okay, we will try to understand that what is at the rate auto wired annotation in Spring. Okay, we will also see that what are its various types. That is, there can be different types of auto wiring. Okay, there can be no auto wiring, or we can have auto wiring by name. Okay, we can have auto wiring by type. Okay, we can also have auto wiring by constructor. Okay, and we can also have auto wiring that is auto detect. Okay, so we will try to understand about different types of auto wiring in Spring. Okay, and then we will see about some of the very important annotation that is at the rate qualifier. Okay, and we will also try to understand that what is at the rate primary annotation in Spring. So without wasting much of our time, let me take you to our Spring Boot application and let us try to understand about these important concepts. These are some of the very important concepts that is being asked in almost 99% of Java interviews. Okay, so it is important from interview perspective, also from the conceptual perspective. Great. So as you can see on your screen, we have already created an application with the name Spring Concept App. Okay, so here I have created a different classes. So this is our main class for our Spring Boot application. Then this is my application properties file, and in this properties file I have defined the server port. Okay, so our application is listening on 8080 port. Great. Now here we have created different bean classes. So I have created an interface with the name food. Okay, and my interface is having one abstract method, that is menu items. Now I have created two different beans. Okay, first one is veg, so we can have food of two types, right? We can have veg food and we can have non-veg food. Great. And both of these foods are implementing our interface, that is food. Okay, now let's see the definition of our veg class and also our non-veg class. So both of these classes is having one property with the name menu item, and this is the constructor of our veg class. Okay, and this is the constructor of our non-veg class. So we have initialized our menu items. Okay, and we have provided two items, that is we can have veg of paneer and mushroom. Okay, and if we talk about non-veg, we can have menu item as chicken and fish. Great. And here you can see that we have provided the implementation of our menu items method, which we have defined inside our food interface. Okay, so here we are returning the menu items. And here you can see that we have used an @ component annotation so that our Spring container can identify these beans. Okay, and it can provide the dependencies for these veg and non-veg class. Great. And I have also created one more class, that is vegetables. Okay, and for this class I have provided one property, that is vegetables, and inside our constructor you can see that we have initialized our vegetables list and we have added different vegetables, that is onion, capsicum, tomato, potato and ladyfinger. And this is the getter method which we have provided to get the list of vegetables. Great. Now let me take you to our controller, that is food controller. Great. So this is our controller class and we have defined it with @ REST controller annotation. And I believe that you are already aware of REST controller and get mapping annotation and request mapping annotation. If you have any doubts, then I have created multiple tutorials for these concepts on the channel. You can easily visit the channel and you can watch these tutorials. Still you have any doubts, then you can write your queries in comment section. Okay, great. So this is the path for my controller, that is programming with Chetan. Okay, and now if I want to get the list of vegetables, then here I have created one endpoint, and its path is slash vegetables. And if I want the list of food items, then here I have created another endpoint which is a get API and its path is slash food items. Great. Now let us try to understand about our first annotation, that is at the rate auto wiring. So I have told you that there are different types of auto wiring, right? That is no auto wiring by name, by type, by constructor, and auto detect. So here in this case, you can see that we have not used our auto wire annotation, or we are not providing any auto wiring. Now let me run our application. Okay. So here we are running our application and let's see if it is starting properly or not. Then here you can see that our application is started and it is listening on 8080 port. Okay. Now let me try to hit this API. So what we are trying to do, we are using the path slash programming with Chetan, and I want to get the list of vegetables. Let me try to get this. Before this, you can see that this is our get method. Okay, now let us send this request. Oh, so here you can see that we are getting 500 error response. Okay, what it is saying, let's see it. So here if you'll see that, oh my goodness, we are getting null pointer exception. Here you can see that. Why we are getting this exception? Any idea? If yes, then you can tell me in comment section. Okay, if no, then no worry about it. Why we are getting this exception? Because Spring Container is not having the definition or the object of vegetables, right? Because we have not auto wired it. Great. Now let us do one thing. We can use at the rate auto wired annotation. Okay. So what we are actually doing here, we have provided at the rate auto wired annotation so that it is telling IOC container that Mr. Container, please provide me the definition or the instance of vegetables so that I can get the list of vegetables. And here how it is internally working, it is working by using auto wiring by name. Okay, now let me stop this application. Okay, now let me save it and let us try to run our application again. Okay, so here our application is already started. Now let me try to hit this again and let us see if we're getting an output this time or not. Then yes, my dear friends, here you can see that we are getting 200 response, right? And we are getting the list of vegetables which we have defined inside constructor of vegetable bean, right? Great. So this is auto wiring by name. What if I change the name of this vegetable reference variable? So in place of vegetables, let's do one thing. Let me change its name as my veg. Okay. Now let us try to see that if we are getting our output in this case or not. Any guesses? I think we'll get our output again. Okay. Yes, we will surely get our output. But I want you to tell me in comment section that why we are getting our output this time. So let me hit it again. Then yes, we are getting the output again. Wow. But how? We have changed its name. It is not auto wiring by name. Then which type auto wiring it is? Then my dear friends, it is auto wiring by type. In this case, IOC container will look for the particular bean of type vegetables in its bean factory. Okay, and if it will find any bean which is of type vegetables, then it will return that. Great. So this is what? This is nothing but auto wiring by type. Great. So friends, I hope that till this point it is clear to you, right? Now let us make it bit interesting. Okay. So let us do one thing. Now let us try to get the list of food items. Okay. So I have changed our URL this time. Okay. Now this is slash food items. So we are trying to get the list of food items. Okay. So when I hit this API, we are getting 500 response. You already know that why we are getting it, because we have not done any auto wiring and we are getting null pointer exception. Great. Let me stop our server. Let me clean the logs. Now let us do one thing. Let us provide the auto wiring for our food reference variable. Okay, great. Now what do you think our output will be when I'm running this application? Let's see that. Oh my goodness, we are getting some error here. Huh? What it is saying? So here you can see that it is saying that IOC container is having two beans, non-veg bean and veg bean. Why? Because here you can see that our veg bean is implementing food and our non-veg bean is also implementing food, right? So we have multiple beans of same type. That is why Spring Container is confused that which bean it should invoke, right? How we can solve this particular problem? Any idea? If you have any idea, then you can write in comment section so that everyone can also get the benefit of that. Still, if you don't know, then no worries. Let's see that how we can solve this particular problem. So if you remember, I told you that we will also discuss about two annotation, that is at the rate primary annotation and at the rate qualifier annotation. Okay. Now let us see both of them one at a time. Okay. So what is at the rate primary annotation? So here you have already seen that we have multiple beans of same type, that is food. That is why our container is bit confused. Let us remove the confusion of our container. How we can do that? We can do that by using at the rate primary annotation. Great. So what it is actually doing? So when we use the primary annotation, then it tells the IOC container, then dear container, you can use this particular bean with maximum priority. Okay, so this is the default bean for food type. Okay, now let's run our program and then we'll see that whether we are getting an error this time or not. Then here you can see that our application is already started, right? I think we have removed the confusion of our container. Let's see. So I am again hitting our API and then we can see, oh yes, we are getting our output. We are getting 200 response and it is returning the veg list, that is paneer and mushroom. Wow. Is there any other way of achieving this functionality? I don't want to use this primary annotation. Then is there any other way? Can you tell me? Then yes, there is another way of doing it. How we can do that? You will be able to understand it within next 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. So what we can do, we can use at the rate qualifier annotation. What this annotation will do, you will be able to understand within few seconds. So this is our qualifier annotation. Inside my qualifier, I am telling that if there are multiple beans of food type, then you can use veg bean. Okay. So we have used qualifier. We have given its name is veg. Okay, let's do one thing. In place of veg, we give its value as non-veg. Okay. It should be in camel case because internally it is using auto wiring by name. So here you can see that our application is already running and now let us try to hit the API. So yes, we are getting our output and this time the list is of non-veg food, that is chicken and fish. Wow. So this is about our qualifier annotation. So we can use this qualifier either at the property level, okay, and we can also use this annotation at our bean level. So suppose I want to use the different name for my bean, that is I want to give its name as veg food, okay, and I want to give the name of my non-veg bean as non-veg food. I'm not using any camel case here, okay. I have simply given its name as non-veg food and this is veg food, okay. Now this is my controller. So in my controller I have to define its value, and here when we are auto wiring it we can use qualifier, okay, and we can give its name as veg food. Okay, now let us run our program and then we'll see our output. So let me hit our API again and let's see what we are getting. Then yes, again we are getting our output, and this time it is a veg list, that is paneer and mushroom. So I hope that this qualifier and primary annotation is clear to you, right? So till this point we have discussed about auto wiring by name, auto wiring by type, right? Now let's see that what are the other ways of providing this auto wiring. So first one we have already seen, that is by providing this at property level. Second one at the setter level. So let me add the setter method for our food. Okay, so here we have one setter method for our food bean, right? Now we can use auto wiring, okay, at setter method. Great. And we can provide the qualifier at field level. Okay, this is how we can provide the qualifier. So this time I am using non-veg food. Okay, let us save it and let us try to run our application again. Okay, so we already run our application this time, and here you can see that it's already running. Now let me do one thing, let me hit our API. Then yes, we are getting our output again, and this is the non-veg list, that is chicken and fish, right? So this is how we can use @auto wiring at setter method. Great. So this is how we can provide the auto wiring at setter method. Now let us discuss about our last way of auto wiring, that is auto wiring at constructor level. Okay, that is auto wiring by constructor. How we can do that? So let me do one thing, let me create the constructor. Okay, so this is the constructor of our food controller class, right? Let me also remove auto wiring from here. Now this constructor is accepting two input parameters, okay, that is an vegetable reference and food reference. Okay, great. Now how we can do the auto wiring? We can do the auto wiring by using @auto wire annotation at constructor level. Great. Let me save it and let us run our program, and let us see that if we are getting any error here or not. Then yes, of course we should get this error, right? This is because of multiple types of our food bean, right? So how we can solve this problem? We can solve this problem either by using primary annotation or by using qualifier annotation, right? So this is my qualifier annotation. Let me provide its value as veg. This time we can either use the name of our bean or we can also use its qualifier name. So this time I'm using its name, that is veg. Okay, now let me run our application. So our application is running and I hope that this time it will run successfully. Then yes, it's already running at 880 port. Now let us hit our API and then we'll see the output. So yes, we are getting our output. Yes, we are getting a food list of vegetables, that is paneer and mushroom. So my dear friends, I hope that you are able to understand that what are the different types of auto wiring in Spring, that is auto wiring by name, by type, by constructor, right? And you have also seen that if there are multiple beans of same type, then how we can solve the problem by using @primary annotation or by using @qualifier, and how we can use this qualifier for setter at property level or at constructor level or at setter level, right? Still friends, if you're having any doubts, then you can ask me your queries in comment section. And I hope that you have already subscribed the channel, and if you have not subscribed the channel till now, then you can quickly hit that like and subscribe button so that you don't miss any updates of my upcoming tutorials. And my dear friends, I would like to wish you all the very best for your learnings.